Tonight on Piha Rescue.
We've got a rope from the police here, so I'm just going to drop down into the blowhole.
Nothing good about a dead hero.
A body search in atrocious conditions.
I think it's just worth a look because we have pulled a few out of here.
A lifeguard gets seriously injured.
I'll try and stop the bleeding as much as I can. We request an ambulance.
I'm just telling you, the cut's about 2 inches long.
And a swimmer is lost at sea.
About 2 mark on the search. We have one swimmer missing over.
Yesterday, a Filipino fisherman was swept off the rocks near Piha. More than 20 lifeguards joined by the Coast Guard and the Westpac Rescue searched for 4 hours to no avail.
It's gone down in there, eh?
Down is a deadly 15-metre drop.
Big thing there.
Yes, Westpac, the last known sighting was Dawson's Ledge.
That one!
A sighting that ignited hope.
I don't see anything.
But all that was found was evidence of his fall, his jandal.
It will be up to the other patrols in the next coming weeks or days to do a recovery.
It's 7 a.m. Lifeguards and police have gathered to resume the search for a body. The stormy weather does not deter any efforts.
Okay guys, we're ready to rock and roll. Let's go.
Veteran lifeguard Horse has been called in to lead the search and rescue team. In the Piha control tower, lifeguard and paramedic Billy keeps Surfcom in Auckland Central informed.
Piha Delta 1, just doing a radio check. We're commencing a search with police vans.
It's a sombre, kilometre-long trek to the search zone. The team is fully aware that they will most likely be faced with a body recovery.
Like, so much depends on that, if he's, how much he was rearing, how much he was weighted down. If he's lucky and he's just gone round the corner and he's been pushed up the blowhole, that's what I want to probably first target. If he's been pushed up the blowhole, there's a good possibility he'll stay up the end there. We've pulled him out of there before. But all sorts of other scenarios, if he goes down and he gets wedged under rocks, then he could be stuck down there for some time, a very long time. So it's hard to say.
This is rugged and treacherous terrain, and Horse knows it like the back of his hand.
Where we've got to go is just around the corner and up the trek to the blowhole. I think would be the first port of call, but it's probably worth having a bit of a nosy up on the rocks and down, just seeing if there's any chunks of things floating around.
The washing machine lives up to its name, whipping the sea into a frothing frenzy. If it's like this in the blowhole where the man fell, there will be little chance of executing a search. Retracing the steps of the fisherman, they encounter the same warnings he and his friends were presented with only 1 day earlier. After a 20-minute hike, they arrive at the blowhole. The conditions are surprisingly calm here. Horse is confident he can explore the crevice up close.
Trying to work out a way down so I can just check up and down here. We can do a boat approach.
I really don't want to have to put a boat in that. It's quite bad conditions. If we knew we were looking for someone who was alive, then the risk possibly justifies it. But we're searching for a dead body. It's just not worth risking people for that. There's nothing good about a dead hero.
However, Horse is determined to find the fisherman, to provide closure for the family.
We've got a rope from the police here, so I'm just going to drop down into the blowhole and just have a quick look up on the inside.
It's pretty calm here. What I might do is actually just try and get down there and swim up to the end of the deck just to make sure that he's not somewhere along the way along, over.
I really wouldn't like him to get into the blowhole in these conditions, but he's a guy out there and he's going to make a judgment call. Of course, so the blowhole's quite calm. He wants to enter it. I've just said to him, someone pick him up. Well, I've just said to him, look, are you able to get out? Because it really depends on how much sand's at the back. If there's heaps of sand at the back, you can scramble down. But if it's a bottomless pit, the only way to get out of that is to be picked up from the front.
Billy and lifeguard Tony are still not convinced that Horse's approach is the right one.
If he does go in the blowhole, probably better to have the crew on standby, just in case it does go to custody.
At the blowhole, the search and rescue teams spread out.
so if we send possibly a couple back to that first spot, I can just work their way around the rocks there and have a good look around and see if I can see anything from there.
Now supporting Horse's decision to enter the water, Billy assists him with all the information he has.
Yeah, the description we had was pretty vague. We know that he removed his shirt and attempted to take off his boots during the surface struggle, and we recovered a hat and a jandal at the scene. We believe he's wearing dark trousers, but the shirt has not been found, nor has one jandal.
Taking all the safety precautions, Horse abseils down. Meanwhile, in atrocious weather conditions, the police climb to every vantage point to see if the fisherman has been washed onto the rocks. It is clearly too dangerous to launch the IRB to search from the water. If the body is floating freely, the fisherman will drift with the current, most likely north. Meanwhile, Horse carries out a thorough search of the crevice's vast network of arteries in case the body is wedged under a rock. This is all too familiar territory. There have been many body recoveries in this same blowhole.
So what are you going to do now, Horse?
Mate, swim down through the blowhole. Although it's messy as hell on the outside, it's quite calm on the inside. I think it's just worth a look because we have pulled a few out of here. Just going to work our way to the end of the blowhole and check it out.
Horse systematically sweeps through the main crevice. If there's a body in here, he will find it, even under the water.
I'm just trying to drag my feet all the way along to see if there's anything on the bottom, that's all. It's pretty clean here, but well, there's a possibility that he's just not fading and he's just below us.
Billy is not so optimistic about finding the body today.
If he got pegged and trapped in one of those crevasses, because the swell hasn't died off, in fact it's picked up overnight, you can see the weather's pretty atrocious. There's no chance, I don't think there's any chance I'll find him tonight or today.
After half an hour in the deep crevice, both Horse and his search and rescue team have reached the same conclusion.
Basically, we've done as much as we can in the conditions that we've got at the moment, and we haven't found anything. So as I said, just hoping for a break in conditions so we can get around a bit further.
In the end, the weather and a huge swell have limited a full-scale search.
Your Horse, Piha Tower, go ahead.
Yeah, if I pick up out of the hole, had a good look, been through around the corners, nothing obviously, or we'd be reporting otherwise. So we're pretty well exhausted our options here, so we're heading back to the club now, over.
A tireless effort by all, without the desired result. The search is called off. All they can hope now is that the body will wash up soon and not become another statistic of never been found. Early afternoon, the weather has improved slightly, although the swell is not letting up. This doesn't deter the die-hard surfers searching for their perfect wave. Lifeguard but rookie surfer Jackie joins the pack.
It's a bit messy today, but it's always good fun out there, so I'll go out and see if I can catch a few waves and just have a bit of fun, and yeah, it's always good out at the beach.
It doesn't take long before the first swimmers head down to the water and the lifeguards start their regular patrol. On water duty, herding the flock, Russell.
Guys, can we move south, please? South, please.
2 hours into the patrol, the first swimmers get into trouble.
Over into the flags, please. Keep looking back to the flags to check where you are.
But this bodyboarder hasn't heeded Russell's advice and now needs rescuing.
Right, mate, we've got to go in, otherwise you're just going to get stuck another right. We'll just cross back to the flags.
Not only is he out of the flagged area, he's not the most prepared either. bodyboarders should always wear fins.
Where's your fins, mate? You lose them on the way out.
I don't have any, I didn't bring them.
Pickups are in full swing. Meanwhile, at the other end of the beach, Jackie's progress looks promising. Until a seemingly innocent fall spells the end of her surf. Jackie has seriously cut her foot. Unable to make her own way back to shore, she signals for help.
Here you go, bro.
Lifeguard Brendan responds immediately.
Girl's cut a foot.
Jackie made it into shore but needs assistance fast. Lifeguard Lacey swiftly makes his way to assess the situation.
I'm not really sure. I think there was a girl on the beach pointing at her foot, so Lacey's just gone down on the quad bike to see what's up, and I'll just keep watching the water in the meantime.
On the water, Russell continues to rustle up the swimmers who have escaped the confines of the flags, while Lacey brings injured surfer Jackie to the medical room. In the IRB, Russell spots another boogie boarder without fins and pulls him to safety.
What happened out there?
An overcast day expected to be quiet is now keeping the lifeguards on their toes.
Mate, can I just get your name and where you're from and age? Just give it a minute.
At the surf club, Jackie's injury is far more serious than initially thought. She has a nasty, deep gash in her foot. The culprit? The surfboard fins. First priority for Brendan, stop the bleeding.
First of all, I'm going to just find some pads.
It's a miracle she walked out of the water unaided. She's in serious pain.
I tried to take a big wave and it got me and it threw me and the fin cut my foot and I thought, oh, that really hurt.
You need to go to a doctor.
I know.
Yeah. What we'll do at the moment, and I'm not sure if it'll work, is I'll try and stop the bleeding as much as I can, but that is a pretty wide cut, that's pretty deep. So not much I can do here, mate. Alright, I'm just going to try and hold that on and see if we can stop the bleeding and gain this compression. At the moment, it's probably going to hurt a little bit, but don't you worry, mate.
Oh dear.
Lifeguard Chris assists with the bandage.
It's a good honest cut. Need a few stitches.
Yeah, mate, I'm just going to call the radio. Call the number.
Sweet one.
Yeah, Surfcom, this is Piha. We request an ambulance for a female surfer who has suffered a deep laceration to her ankle.
News? Sure to alarm Jackie.
How severe would you rate it, Choda? Bleeding. Moderate?
Just tell you, the cut's about 2 inches long and it's right down into the muscle.
Yeah, Surfcom, this is Piha. Currently the cut is about 2 inches long and it's right down into the muscle. There is some moderate bleeding.
It's a good sized cut. It's a good honest cut. There's no messing around with this one.
She's done a good job, man.
Done a great job.
There we go, mate. Some of that magical O2.
Awesome.
You should complain a little more and we can give you Internox.
Oxygen is given when the body's own uptake is low.
I'm just gonna chuck this.
Jackie is in shock. Her shallow, rapid breathing is not providing her body with the oxygen it needs.
How's that?
Oh, that's much better.
That's alright, you just sit there, relax,
The
mate.
next concern for the lifeguards is hypothermia, rapid cooling of the body. foil wrap, also known as a space blanket, is quickly wrapped around her to help regulate her body temperature. It's 5:30. The surf has died down significantly and the patrol is drawing to a close.
Just tell you what, just move yourself up.
Surfer and lifeguard Jackie makes her unplanned journey to A&E, while Lacey mops up the evidence. But the day is not over yet. An emergency call from the neighbouring beach, Kari Kari.
About to embark on a search. We have one swimmer missing, over. I think he was calling
Where?
at this stage. There's only two of us over, and we'll need somebody else here, and we'll have to put the chop on standby. Over.
Hey, Kari Kari, they've got a search and asking if we can take a boat and hatch down and have a look.
10 kilometres south at Kari Kari, a swimmer is lost at sea. Off-duty lifeguards rush from every direction. Speed is crucial now. They need to get the boats in the water as fast as possible. It is still a 15-minute journey to Kari Kari. Lifeguard Dean confirms Piha's assistance.
Yeah, copy that, Kari Kari. This is Piha. We're sitting in the boat now. Stand by tomorrow.
Lifeguards Chris and Jonathan take the first boat out, while Dean makes the journey by car. It's Jonathan's second search in as many days. This man has been missing for 10 minutes. If he is a reasonable swimmer, there is still hope. The swell has dropped significantly, so now the 15-minute drive can hopefully be made in 12. Chris and Jonathan launch the first IRB, with Narelle and Billy not far behind.
As far as I can tell, 20-year-old Asian male missing a Kari Kari.
If the swimmer is caught in a rip, his best chance of survival is to avoid struggling, conserving energy by floating on his back or swimming with the current. It never pays off to swim against the rip. Just before they reach their destination, encouraging news from the Kari Kari guards. At Kari Kari, the swimmer has been rescued by 2 off-duty lifeguards, but is still in a critical condition.
They've got him on the beach. He seems to be all right. So we're heading back. So much for my Sunday siesta. Oh, easy one. Good outcome, hopefully.
Hopefully indeed. He may be out of the water, but he's still not out of the woods. The semi-conscious man is immediately placed on oxygen and taken to the Kari Kari first aid room for medical assistance. After struggling for 15 minutes in the water, the lifeguards are concerned that there is water in his lungs. They need to monitor him closely to avoid secondary drowning. It was the sheer skill of 2 off-duty Kari Kari lifeguards which saved this man's life.
Well, we figured the guy would have been caught in the rip and he would have gone south because we've been doing paid guard out here, so we know the beach pretty well at the moment.
Oh, Nick picked the rip, picked which way the rip was going, and then after that we just followed our course and there he was.
He was quite a long way out to sea. And
Still swimming?
No, it was just his head above the water. All we could see was just a sort of a black dot. And so we figured that was the man.
His head was up and was floating back, and he managed to chuck his hand up when he saw us, but...
And he's a very lucky man to be alive.
Yeah, I thought we were on a body search, but we found him still kicking.
In the medical room, lifeguard Dean, a qualified GP, checks the patient's breathing.
What's your name? Okay, so we really need you to just slow your breathing down and start taking deeper breaths, okay? Yeah. So
So slow your breathing down, really concentrate for me about slowing your breathing down and taking deeper breaths. That's the one. Good stuff.
Back at Piha, the IRBs return from their mercy dash. Jonathan is relieved.
I guess anyone post-drowning has the potential to go downhill, so the fact that he was semi-conscious is a really good sign. It means that at least he's probably breathing on his own. So at this stage they'll just be giving him some supportive measures, looking after his airway, giving him some oxygen and arranging for him to get into hospital. So sounds pretty lucky by all accounts.
He's got full and complete recollection of events and is hemodynamically stable. So that means we're not that worried about it at the moment, but he is very anxious. His respiratory rate and his pulse rate are both a bit high. And so we'll just, for precautionary measures, we'll hand him over to the ambulance crew. They'll probably take him through to Auckland Hospital for evaluation, and we'll see what happens from there.
It's been a long day for the guards. A day that started with an unsuccessful body search has ended on a more positive note.
Thankfully they're okay, from what we know.
2 days later, the Asian swimmer was discharged from hospital and made a full recovery. The Filipino fisherman was found 10 days later, washed up on the rocks near Muriwai. Next time on Piha Rescue. Total carnage at the annual Piha Classic Surfboat Carnival.
Oh, no, 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 no!
Several kite surfers are swept out to sea. And the Piha guards assist in Raglan with a mass rescue.
4 swimmers behind the break. Go. Go. Let's do 2 boats. 2 8.